begin our first match of the Psionic Aftermath versus the DusT Clan War, Grandmaster versus Grandmaster, and here we are. Let's introduce our players spawning in the bottom hand position of Cactus Valley, representing our light baby blue, sky blue Zerg player. It is TheWay. Grandmaster Zerg representing Psionic Aftermath and the Zerg race. And his opponent spawning in the top left hand position of Cactus Valley, representing our green Terran player and DusT Gaming. It is AegiS. Whew, I am so excited to get into this, folks. Are you ready to get into this, folks? I mean, obviously, you're watching it, of course, real time with me, but I'm just so excited I can't stop talking, so I guess that's something I have to work on, indeed. Looks like, touching by the rally points, we're gonna have to say this is a hatch first? Yeah, drone already gonna go ahead and head down. Nothing too out of the normal for our friend TheWay. Really standard commander stuff, you guys know the drill. You guys know what happens in this match. It looks like Barracks into a gas for our friend AegiS. Doesn't want to leather on that one-base aggression with a gas first, which, you know, who complained in Cactus Valley, doesn't really favor one-base Terran aggression in the TVZ matchup. First of all, it's a big map. Second of all, Reapers don't have too much room to finagle themselves around. They have this nice cliff over here, which is just about it. Another small choke they have to come to. So they have to hop up someplace or go through a choke, which generally, as a Reaper, isn't the wisest preposition. Anyways, Overlords are scouting the wrong way for our friend TheWay. Scouting the wrong way. God damn it, TheWay, your name is set up for puns, and you are capitalizing my incessant need to make puns because I don't know how to properly create humor out of nowhere. Damn you, TheWay. Actually, you're part of my team, so I love you, TheWay. Please don't kill me, guys. Anyways, Reaper is on the way. Yes, a Reaper expand is what is on the menu for our friend AegiS. Nothing too remarkable, you know. It's a Reaper, it's a hatchery, it's a Zerg, it's a Terran. You don't need me to explain this to you, folks. Look, the mule is getting called on down. I hope all my settings are correct. I don't think I can correct them now, but I'm pretty sure that they're all fine, so I'm gonna have to wait and see. Oh, nope, don't follow the rocks, because rocks do not move, and they are rocks. Follow the Reaper. There we go. Reaper, they're going to go ahead and rock on out. Heading over to TheWay's base immediately. Actually, is he? Yeah, immediately. Looks like he is scouting diagonal first, which the theory behind this is that you just want to know if the Zerg is in close draw positions to you, which will determine your build. It turns out AegiS is scouted that TheWay is not in close draw positions, so that's probably going to influence his build a decent-ish amount. Gonna go ahead and kite back on the Zerglings. Looking on a KDA charge, not killing too much of anything thus far. Looks like Lings are getting a little bit tired of chasing this Reaper around, so they do lose one of their lives to put themselves out of their misery, but Queen is out searching for that Reaper ass, and looks like the Reaper may just gift it to the Queen. Oh, Queen, no, run, Reaper. You don't want to be sodomized at such an early age of 54. Trust me, 54 is an early age when it comes to unprepared sodomy. And meanwhile, on the Terran side of the map, we have an orbital command going ahead and morphing on in. Barracks. Oh, actually, a factory being swapped over onto the reactor, so we're probably gonna see some Hellions is going to be my guess on what is on the menu. Looks like yeah, a tech lab on the barracks, so it looks like AegiS is gonna go for the too cool for old school build of Hellions into Banshees, which is very tried and tested. Indeed, and actually it looks like TheWay wants to be aggressive here. 16 things on the way, Metabolic Boost and Pneumatized Carapace. Is there an evolution chamber? No, but there is no third base, which there should have been a very long time ago. And there are Lings with speed, and they do not look happy. Reaper gets killed by the Lings. He's gonna go ahead and hold the watchtower, and that is a lot of Zerg streaming across the map. He is not switching to drone and has taken his third base, but he did invest a decent amount into these Lings, and goddammit, he has to do something well with it. Looks like wall off isn't quite complete, and AegiS is caught with his pants down, I believe. Is this a full wall off? It actually is a full wall off, so nice surface area denial on these Lings. But looks like they're still gonna get in. Two more Hellions join the fray, and it looks like it barely may just be enough. It depends on how the Lings split. Do they get the substance to a choke to the Hellions? And it looks like a lot of them may just go down, and yes, the Hellions do go down, which means these SCVs may just be forfeit here. Let's see how many work a sea kill so far. It is one. Can you get a second one? No, but that is a-okay. Killing 4 Hellions and, you know, denying some mighty time, denying map presence, that is definitely a-okay for TheWay. I don't think he's mad about that at all. Definitely it's gonna allow him to get his creep spread up and going much quicker, and he's not gonna lose like 50 quadrillion drones back at home while trying to chase Reapers around. Or Hellions around with those Lings. Looks like Cloak and Banshee is on the way. And folks, buckle in your seatbelts and lubricate your eyes, because I think we're going to have a good old-fashioned mech slugfest on Cactus Valley. Cross positions Oh boy, I cannot wait. +1 vehicle weapons is being researched, as well as 2 more factories being added on. I cannot wait for our mech play. It looks like 4 Hellions are moving out across the map, finally getting some map presence as our friend AegiS. He does have the Banshee with Cloak about to finish. Let's see if there are any Spore Crawlers. Actually, yes, 1 Spore Crawler coming in on each base thus far. That is important. This base, unfortunately, is a lower priority, so it gets a Spore Crawler last. That's just how you do things in the do. Looks like Banshee is going to go ahead and find this base, unprotected, undetected, and Cloak is not quite finished yet. He has a couple more seconds to go on that bad boy, so just be patient, Banshee, and your patience will be very, very, very rewarded. And actually, AegiS can put a decent amount of pressure on this map. He does have the armory finished on up, so if these morph to Hellbats, and yes, they do, this hatchery is going to take a lot of damage, especially with the Cloak, and actually, morphing away from the Hellbat form. I think that was a bit of a misclick from my friend AegiS, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Spore Crawler now is rooting on A, and with that increased root time that almost nobody noticed but everyone cares about, and it does force that Banshee and Hellion duo back. 38 to 42 total workers. He only, it's been 1 worker killed to 1 worker killed, which generally favors our Zerg player, I wish to say. 39 to 41 workers, but Hellions actually suiciding themselves on and trying to increase that drone kill count, and maybe Guz gonna get a couple, gets 1 for the price of 4. Hellions definitely not a good trade, so AegiS probably in a little bit of pain thus far. As a mech player, when you try to do damage like this early on in the game, your main objective is to, you know, be greedy behind it, because that's what your opener is supposed to do. And when it gets shut down, well, then you realize that, you know what, maybe you can't go for those nice mech times that we've been seeing. Maybe you can't deny the 4th base from Zerg as well, because your map, because your lead has not been obtained. Looks like our friend AegiS is going for that 3rd command center as well, adding on a lot of factories actually. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factories, and that on the way for our friend AegiS off of 2 bases. I wonder if he can produce off of all of that. I think so. I am not too certain. As you may not have known, I am not a meching player because I do not play Terran. Looks like 2 Banshees actually on the way with Cloak. That's a very dangerous deal. While Spire is on the way, and nonetheless, for our friend TheWay, Spire is on the way. God damn it, TheWay. Why do you have to make your name so punny? Looks like TheWay, he has scouted the fact that this is a mech opening, so we should be seeing an appropriate response. There are roaches on the way, and the Spire is also very, very, very respectable to help chase down those Banshees. So TheWay is seeming to be in a pretty good position this game. I do not mind it at all. I do not think anything bad of it. I would certainly not say anything bad of it. He has enough to defend this push, I believe. Oh, unless Big Daddy Siege Tank sieges up on the cliff, and it looks like that is exactly what happened. I think TheWay is actually in a bit of bother here. 55 to 46 total army supply. There are 7 Mutalisks on the way, but it's going to be a decent amount of time before those pop out, and losing a lot of roaches to the Siege Tank so quickly. Meanwhile, Hellions are pressuring this base. This base desperately being transferred, but the hatchery is just being seeded, by the way. I think that's a very, very, very mature decision, and actually muted. Missile turrets on the way. AegiS, you know how to claim somebody's heart by ripping it out of them with missile turrets. It looks like there are still... I lost my train of thought, but goddammit, there are Mutalisks on the way, and they're not going to do anything crazy things. Looks like the missile turrets will complete to no avail. Looks like the Siege Tanks have already decided to mosey on home, and actually Mutalisks might just give chase, but you can't engage those missile turrets. Ooh, not bad. Trading 1 missile turret for 1 Mutalisk, definitely a good trade there for our friend AegiS. 3rd base is finished on up, but it is an orbital command, which is a huge problem that couldn't be built on location because his opener went kinda iffy-wiffy, so we won't have that planetary fortress for the 3rd base, which is definitely a little bit of a problem. Mutalisk, however, making a presence known and picking off 2 siege tanks in reparations for the damage that AegiS has done, which is fair. I know Thor is here doing so many bad things to this Mutalisk. The sodomy is real from the ground, folks. Thor is here, and he is not happy at all. I don't know why I gave him an Australian accent. I guess it was just a stupid thing to do. TheWay now has a very bruised Overseer and a good handful of Mutalisks ready to keep the Terran player in his base. Doors are coming on out with that Collector's Edition Wings of Liberty skin, which doesn't make them any stronger, but you know, it makes them pretty much stronger. You know what I mean? 8 more roaches on the way, so that's 4 Overlords. It is 51 to 64 total workers, so our friend TheWay is definitely doing what he needs to in this game. James being immediately killed because he has not made a single Marine, has AegiS this game, so when you see 2 of them running to your army, you know something janky is going on. Mutalisks are going to pick off this pair, it so seems. And actually, Mutalisks not being macroed very properly, going to lose a lot of the numbers to the Thirst potentially. Oh, he lost a good handful of Mutalisks there. Maybe around 4 or 5 would be my guess. That is definitely a painful sight. Thors have gotten so much stronger versus Mutalisks, and now actually AegiS wants to go ahead and be aggressive. I always am a little bit fearful when I see mech players trying to be... so much damage. Now you can go ahead and push across the map, kill the crap out of him, but I always get a little bit fearful when mech players try to be aggressive. You lose this army, you are out of commission for 10 hours in the upcoming games. And it looks like everything in the air has actually been killed for AegiS. So TheWay needs... Oh, actually, huge would have mentioned it's going on in. Hold that thought, folks, because we have a huge engagement coming on in. The mech player is not sieged up, but it may just be a bit too much. Actually, I retract that statement. Looks like it may still barely overwhelm. It is going to be very close. But the Cyclones, the Siege Tanks, and the Thors are all doing horrible things to the approach composition. 66 to 40 total armor supply, and this mech force is not finished. AegiS is mad, and TheWay is getting in AegiS' way over the victory. Ironically enough, living up to his name. 20 roaches in production, nonetheless, with your speed finished on up. And its +2 vehicle of weapons to 1-1. And this is still a very concerning spot, but AegiS wisely decides to pull on back, knowing that he needs these crucial units to help him stay in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and use a Banshee to cover up his defenses, as TheWay barely holds on for now. The barracks is probably gonna go ahead and burn on down. Meanwhile, AegiS on the other side of the map has 5963 total workers and is feeling pretty damn confident, folks. Looks like another command center is on the way. Hopefully he'll make that one into a planetary fortress and land it on site. Barracks, meanwhile, is going to go ahead and get fired on down. And actually, ooh, Hellions roasting up this drone line, killing around 6 there without attack. So good play there from our friend AegiS, but TheWay is definitely still defending very, very, very well. And is that... No, okay, that's not roach speed. That is the muscular arguments for our Hydralis. Because I was like, man, if these roaches didn't have roach speed, I'd hate to see them with roach speed. Anyways, a lot of tanks now coming on in. But there's not too much for buffer for these tanks. There are, what, 5 Hellions soon to be Hellbats. There is no Burrow. So I'm guessing it's going to be a pretty strong position. AegiS is not being threatened by any sort of flank, and this is only Roach Ravager, folks. Roaches get horrible things done to them. Look at that. That's just from the tanks. A couple of volleys, and it looks like this base may well be seeded as well. That's going to be so painful if he loses it. Going to go ahead and try to engage on anyway, but taking just so many shots. And actually, GG, well played is called from TheWay. AegiS is victorious, and TheWay is defeated. Man, what a rough match. AegiS just kept on slamming his mighty mech Wiener Schnitzel into our friend TheWay, and it looks like he just couldn't deal with it. The roach count wasn't high enough, his flanking wasn't good enough, but he played very valiantly. That game has been was very well played in my opinion, but it turns out AegiS just played it a little bit better, and the Grandmasters leagues and in the Grandmaster stages of StarCraft 2, that's generally all that it takes. But shoulda, coulda, woulda is the story of StarCraft, I do suppose. And let's go ahead and wait just a little bit as we wait for our next game between Psionic Aftermath and DusT Gaming.